Hello and welcome to this moment as we get together to share the word of the Lord. We continue in this joyful time of the year, the Easter time, in the octave of Easter, and these 8 days as we continue celebrating with joy the feast of the resurrection. And today from the Gospel of Luke we have the two disciples that they go on a journey. And let us listen, it is so beautifully important. The very day, the first day of the week, two of the disciples of Jesus were going to a village 7 miles from Jerusalem called Emmaus. And they were conversing about all the things that had occurred. And it happened that while they were conversing and debating, Jesus himself drew near and walked with them. But their eyes were prevented from recognizing him. He asked them, "What are you discussing as you walk along?" They stopped, looking downcast. One of them, named Cleopas, said to him in reply, "Are you the only visitor to Jerusalem who does not know of the things that have taken place there in these days?" And he replied to them, "What sort of things?" They said to them, "The things that happened to Jesus the Nazarene, who was a prophet, mighty in deed and word before God and all the people, how our chief priests and rulers both handed him over to a sentence of death and crucified him. But we were hoping that he would be the one to redeem Israel. And besides all this, it is now the 3rd day since this took place. Some women from our group, however, have astounded us. They were at the tomb early in the morning, and they did not find the body. They came back and reported that they had indeed seen a vision of angels who announced that he was alive. Then some of those with us went to the tomb and found things just as the women had described. But him they did not see. And he said to them, "Oh, how foolish you are, how slow of heart to believe all that the prophets spoke. Was it not necessary that the Christ should suffer these things and enter into his glory?" Then beginning with Moses and all the prophets, he interpreted to them what referred to him in all the scriptures. As they approached the village to which they were going, he gave the impression that he was going on further. But they urged him, "Stay with us, for it is nearly evening and the day is almost over." So he went in to stay with them. And it happened that while he was with them at table, he took the bread, said a blessing, broke it, and gave it to them. With that, their eyes were open and they recognized him, but he vanished from their sight. Then they said to each other, "Were not our hearts burning within us while he spoke to us on the way and opened the scriptures to us?" So they set out at once and returned to Jerusalem, where they found gathered together the 11 and those with them who were saying, "The Lord has truly been raised and he has appeared to Simon." Then the two recounted what had taken place on the way and how he was made known to them in the breaking of the bread. Beautiful. This is just amazing. It's interesting to see how the disciples, they go sad and they hear from Jesus everything that, all the passage of the scriptures that referred to him, but they were not able to recognize him. But their hearts were burning. And at the table, Jesus blessed the bread. Blessing the bread, he broke it, and they recognized him. Now, just one important thing. Remember what happened on Holy Thursday? On Holy Thursday is in the end of the Passover, of the celebration of the Passover from the Jewish tradition. Jesus took a piece of bread, broke it, and gave it to the disciples and said, "This is my body." And then took a cup of wine You're the blessing, gave it to the disciples, take and drink it from it. This is my blood. Remember? That is exactly what happened to the two disciples. As they invited Jesus to come to be with them, it was dark. The robbers were around, the thieves. So let us go in with the disciples. But then he is recognized and disappears. And then there is no more problem with robbers and thieves and anything. They walk back to Jerusalem because that beautiful experience of recognizing him and the breaking the bread has to be shared with the others. You understand what I mean? The beautiful experience has to be shared. And today too, every single day, we share the bread of life and the blood of life. Do we recognize him and the breaking the bread? But in the same time, do you take the time to get to know better the Master, to allow him to teach us in catechesis, in the catechism, and all the talks and the things we have around available to get to know the Lord? Do we take advantage of it? I hope we do so, to get to know him. But at the breaking the bread, we recognize him. The Lord, the one that remained with us in the little bit of bread and the little bit of wine, be a blessing for you today.